That would
but
work. That would work, except we do have a match to play now, so or cast. I wish I could play, but you know, it's
are we playing a match? Should we just leave the semi-final and come
that's
back for the
probably a
real
good
action?
idea. I mean, it's only 8 in the morning over here, so effectively I have now caught up to your time, so
Yeah, when I first started. Well, in an hour. Yeah, and also, I already got the prize money wrong. We're looking at 30 Australian dollars.
oh, 30 Aussie dollars
All
are
this
pretty
much.
nice. Do like when
30
they get
Aussies.
sent to you, are they really just like kangaroo pelts?
It's Monopoly money. It's like bright coloured and it looks like it was scrolled by a file. It's,
Have you seen Canadian
you
money?
don't want to involve yourself. Isn't it made of wood? No, wait, that's
No,
Dutch money.
no. The Canadian money, it's legitimately like been termed as monopoly money because it's I think it's made with a plastic substance, I guess, so you can legitimately wash your money and it doesn't get ruined.
Huh.
And then
So it's
like
actually
bright
quite
pink.
ironic because I presume, you know, if you steal the Monopoly money, then you go to jail and you don't collect £200. So that's pretty bad overall.
Yeah,
But
that's usually, you know.
actually, the game. Oh, what's this? We have two things going down on the same spawn. Is it possible that somehow this
I
has been
actually,
so crossed?
oof. I'm so tired. I was trying to figure out. I forget the name of the planet that we were playing on. It wasn't Temple, but it was the other one with the land bridge.
Oh, I don't remember either.
But that one, yeah. And I was
Excellent
like,
casting.
I was trying to figure out. I was like,
Land
why?
bridge, bad.
Where's the land bridge? I was trying to look for it, and I was so confused as to why the players were pinging so close to each other. And I was like, oh, the giant puddle. That's right.
Damn.
Damn.
So, you know, the viewer count has expanded a little bit. It might be worth just mentioning that we are in the semi-finals of the Lord's Annual, hosted by Burning Tournament, with 30 Australian dollars on the line. There are also Steam games up for grabs. If Team Burning lose this, they will still be third overall, and it is Burning versus Promethean, basically, is what it has come down to.
So this is an interesting little thing. I mean, I was looking at this, and apparently I need to fire guest because we are now 5 for 5 in any terms of it, and legitimately, I do think that this does force that meta idea of just crush the guy in the middle because now there's just no way. I mean, I'm just off of colors. I just think orange is going to get straight crushed by yellow, but I mean, looking at it, there's just unless orange decides to go for a swim across the lake, there's no real way he can link up with his buddies.
There is always a teleporter. I mean, it is an option. It's a very
Kaladin.
desperate option.
I don't know.
Kaladin, yeah, the land bridge man. But yeah, I
Can't
mean,
read it.
a teleporter is still a thing.
That is true.
And Orange is sending out that skitter early. He's scouted. He's seen that on the south side. Well, I say south. It's difficult to tell on the sphere. But on one side of his base, he has this yellow player located sort of right here. As long as he scouts the top as well and realizes that he is isolated, I mean, he's probably got a good idea because he hasn't spawned next to one of his teammates. So I suppose that's all the indication he really needs.
Now, fun cast, to check your professionalism, you do know if you press N, it does automatically lock you to the poles, yes?
No, but pole lock is horrible. It should never be
No,
used.
like not pole lock, but it shoots the north to the north and the south to the south.
Whoa, wow.
Professionals.
I've learned so much.
Fantastic.
Yeah, in the semi-finals, 4 or 5 hours after we started. Thank you, Ghost.
Forget it. We're all
It's
half
the
awake
gift that
anyways.
keeps on giving.
So it looks like the commanders at the north side have actually ended up starting to build their little walls. This is an interesting little thing because if I remember correctly, the white tried to do this against their opponents. I forget what the color they were playing, but they tried to do this exact same thing. And what ended up happening was, well, actually, orange is just going to turtle up as well. So they're really leaving this orange guy that is alone, kind of left for dead, really.
Yeah, what we're seeing is quite interesting in that, the orange team has decided that one of their 2 players who are together and can support each other would turtle up on one side. And yellow has also done the exact same thing, where one of their 2 players that are together would turtle up on one side. So I guess the plan is by turtling up against the land, those players are then free to go naval, which seems to be exactly what they're doing. Without worrying about the threat of sort of bolos rolling in, docks rolling in,
Right.
just generally being a nuisance. So that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, I was sorry. I was looking at a naval fabricator because like the bomber hit it and then it didn't die. I was like, what? Hang on now. Did it somehow
Yeah,
manage
so
to juke it? But
Yellow getting some good pickups there, doing a little bit of damage over here, able to pick away these kind of two mechs. Overall, it's probably not going to make a massive dent in Orange's eco, but every little helps. This is how things get rolling. The pressure
interestingly
goes
enough,
on.
though, Orange actually being the first, I think one of the first teams to actually like try and go for that temple economy outside of the naval and the other units. So I really do like this idea of them just kind of pushing outside of the quote-unquote boundary zone or the the usual no one goes there just because it's so far away. And that's really nice to see because that will give them some very nice hidden economy that Yellow might not be even aware of until it's too late.
Very, very true. I mean, in the previous game we casted, the Yellow team that did actually do that by far and away much later than the Orange team is doing it here. So this is, like you said, could be an immensely powerful strategy. They get some free eco. Yellow may not spot it, although they do seem to be skimming some aerial units kind of around the fringes, just checking for anything sneaky going on. So, I mean, now at this stage in the tournament, we're kind of down to the really experienced players. All of the strategies are very interesting. I would say probably quite well thought out.
Yep.
And both teams seem to be employing sort of similar strats, except for the fact that while Orange goes for the Ninja Eco, Yellow is more sort of focused on preventing Ninja Eco.
Which, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But either way, that is my ramble for the moment. But Yellow spot here going, I'm just going to call them yellow spots because it's easier. Yellow going for some very heavy vehicle factories while Orange is, I almost want to say Orange is turtling much more than Yellow. And when we saw that last time with Burning's group and G0hst and those guys on this map, when they tried to turtle, basically they just got overwhelmed on one spot, then they tried to reposition themselves, and then they just kind of got sifted to death, and at the end of the day, they just kind of didn't have anything.
Yeah, but Promethean here is doing a much more
Methodical?
What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, they're doing a much more effective job in a way of it, because not only are they turtling very, very hard, but unlike the last team that we sort of looked at, they are also doing the Ninja Eco. They are expanding into the land. It's almost as if while they are fighting the naval battle, it's almost like they're prepared to shy away from it if it doesn't go in their favor, which I think is really, really smart. Rather than just banking on this one thing that may or may not work, and having a strategy there that again may or may not work, they're deciding, what, we need options, we need backup plans, and even if we don't end up having to use all of this, land area, we still have it. We still have the eco.
These Grenadiers, though, here in the Yellow base, they are doing a little bit of pressure. Got one metal extractor. They got a fabricator too. So, the little trades, it's good. Maybe it'll help. But in overall, though, this Orange push here, though, coming out and hitting this other Yellow base, doing fantastic pressure, getting, I think, a factory, a pelter, a metal extractor, and another mex extractor. So fantastic at just kind of doing some pressure. And really, it just kind of seems like there's things everywhere doing everything, but is it doing anything? Because, like I said, they're just kind of sifting around, trying to figure out what goes where, and...
Oh, definitely. I mean, have you kept eyes on this? Well, while everything's been going on, Yellow has been constantly advancing with these walls, defending against even narwhals from the sea using them, and is now sort of ripping into the production, taking out some power gens, and that is hurting Promethean's eco. At the end of the day, both teams are actually, not running at 100% consistently. But between the two, at the moment, it seems as if Burning is actually taking an early advantage, if only a slight one. It's nothing significant yet, but they are shaping up in such a way that, they have the naval presence, they have the land presence, they're hitting Promethean, they're hurting them, and Promethean in turn are also doing their own, making their own plays, making their own moves.
Right.
But it's not quite as significant, not quite as effective as what Team Burning's pulling out.
So then it's safe to say that Burning might not be out microing them, but they're definitely out macroing them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a fantastic way of putting it. You have sort of, these two narwhals here just generally being a nuisance, firing away onto the land. while this land force is free to take out maybe eco or go in for production or whatever you like. Where they're losing, where they're weak in confrontations, then they build up the walls. They have the appropriate units to just hold off, hold their own, not lose anything significant. And that really is the key difference. Promethean is losing territory, giving ground, whereas Burning is pretty much dug into what's theirs. And whenever Promethean tries to push them back, they may take some losses, but they don't lose the ground. They don't actually lose the territory.
Definitely very interesting because, I mean, we saw this with the other team, and I'm going to keep referencing them because this is honestly the only way I know how to kind of get a point across, really. But when we saw G0hst and those guys try and turtle up as much as the Burn guys are here, it really wasn't as effective as these guys are doing. And I think, like you're saying, they're just holding the ground, and you're saying, you want to fight us, you come to us. Besides the attack, they've never really tried to, aggressively, once they won a defensive position, tried to push
Here comes
it.
the first casualty.
Oh,
And Promethean's coming.
Hey, I actually got to it in time. Thank you for the ping.
Hey! And he's down.
And
so,
he's
there we
down.
go. I mean, we were just talking about sort of losses and gains and ground and such, and, we can really see the difference in the team sort of shaping up. Again, Promethean, Burning say, okay, we're going to take this commander, and they take the commander. Whereas Promethean say, okay, we're going to push into the space, and they don't really gain anything for that.
Right, there doesn't seem to be a follow-up.
And this is consistently happening. Yeah, this is happening all the time. I'll just be 1 second, hold on.
Sure. Alright, so, goodness, Lucky Red, I'm that tired, I don't even remember people's names.
Sorry about that.
Oh, there he is. Cool, perfect. I was about to say,
I don't think so.
Been alive for, I've
And
been
he's
awake
gone.
been awake for 24 hours, and I started forgetting your name. I was like, oh boy, this ain't good. Forgetting my co-caster's name, and I've been talking to him for almost 6 hours now.
Yeah, but it's not about us. It's about the games.
Of
And,
course.
actually, at the plot. Here comes Promethean losing some Orcas, just generally getting slowly ground away. I mean, Burning has the stronger eco, they have more power, they have more metal. More importantly, they're using their power, they're using their metal. They have, they have so much more available to them to make plays than Promethean do right now. Promethean really on the back foot.
I wouldn't even say on the back foot. I think they're, maybe even stumbling and kind of tripping here because, just looking at this main base here that they sort of have built here as a defensive position, you've got these land units moving in from the south, you've got naval units pushing in from the east, and you've got more units coming in from the north. I mean, they're just getting attacked on all fronts. Really, the only quote-unquote safe place I want to think they have is that, on that section of the temple where they have that wall and they have that, one double-barreled turret, which will probably hold that spot. But that's legitimately all I can say is the only unpressured area that Prometheans have. There's, naval pushing for Burn on the spot where there's factories. There's naval pushing the walls they have. Burn just seems to be on top of their game for this match, and they're really not letting Prometheans have a second to breathe. And I think that's what's allowing them to win is they haven't been constantly attacking. It's just they've been always there, always pressuring them to remind them, hey, we're here, we're going to mess you up, and we're not even going to stop till you drop. So...
yeah, and when Promethean tries to respond, they discover that actually Burning has the defenses in place. They're not going to put up with any of that.
Definitely.
And this is pretty much the theme of the entire game. I think you're pretty much right. I was going to say that originally my thoughts were, even though Promethean may even be stumbling slightly, they are still very skilled players, in 3v3, and it will take a while to crack their shell and really grind them down to actually get in there and kill the commanders. But having said that, Team Burning already started the tier 2. It is actually ready now. The shallows are coming out. That'll break the land stalemate. Given a little bit of time, Promethean will be pushed back. They'll have to retreat into the sea. But if you look at the seafront, even though right now they're not being pushed back and they still have a little foothold there, all it's going to take is for Team Burning to either build up a critical mass of units or to go T2 in the water, and then and here comes the T2. As I'm talking, no, it's just normal naval factory.
I was going to say, where is this?
If they were to build that T2, it would very much break the stalemate. You wouldn't have any of these normals, orcas, these walls. It wouldn't matter. Leviathans don't care. Or even a kraken.
And I think they have cracked the turtle shell. That's the thing. You're saying these are very skilled players, and I do agree. But just looking at the ping awareness, I just listening in my headphones, just that really loud and annoying ping, 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 ping. I just got another one. I mean, it seems like every time I look around for these pings, besides yours, there just always seems to be yellow, seems to be keep popping up, and occasionally there's the orange, but the communication just going down is fantastically aware for Burn. Every time there's a Dox hitting something, there's a ping. Every time there's a tank about to shoot something, there's a ping. They always just seem to be very on top of their game, and don't get me wrong, the Prometheans are doing fantastic jobs, and I don't want to downcast them because they have gone to the semifinals because of their skill. But when push comes to shove, Burn are definitely on their game for this match, and they were definitely ready for Promethean to take them on this planet.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. There's no doubt about it at all. Burning has showed basically fantastic skill in just about every area, from builds to troop movement to macro. Maybe not necessarily the micro. I mean, I haven't really seen any evidence of sort of extreme micro skills or anything, like 300 APM. But that's not what this game is about at all. If they can out macro them, they will probably win. At the end of the day, 10 Dox cannot beat 100 Dox, no matter how hard you try, how hard you micro a dance. So, but at the moment, I mean, again, we saw it before. You may have seen it. Promethean pushed into Burning's little naval base here, destroyed a couple of factories, and then got all of their Orcas wiped out by a commander supported by a couple of Orcas. In turn, we see Burning pushing back with their own Orcas, and this is, again, the huge difference is, there is no commander there, there's no defense in place to stop this, and Burning will just continue to erode away at the power, at the factories. They'll do a lot of damage, and it's just went back and forth like this the whole time. Every time a fight comes along, Burning make a little bit of a gain, Promethean get nothing, Burning make a little bit of a gain, Promethean get nothing.
So it's safe to say that this might be the final nail in the coffin, yeah? As that commander explodes.
I think this game, I think this game may have been over approximately 6 minutes ago. I personally would have called it. It would have been a little bit reckless, but at the same time, probably justified.
Well, as this last commander builds his walls, actually cuts down his trees, because everyone knows the tree economy, best economy. I think once Burn find this last commander and clean up the rest of the forces that are kind of scattered a little bit everywhere. Again, this match just seems very sifty. It never seems to really, it never seems to just fall in place, and then this is where the battle line is metaphorically drawn. It always seems like something's fighting at something, something's moving over here, and it never seems to be this very like, okay, I know I need to send my units here because that's where they're going to be. It's, oh, I need to send some narwhals here. I need to send some tanks there. I need to make sure that my air fighters are doing this. And this is a very mobile planet.
Well, I mean, while we've spent a lot of time sort of talking Burning up and, by extension selling Promethean short, the truth is they've done a fantastic job themselves. I mean, we talked about it a bit earlier where Promethean went towards the land temple and, we were saying, like, okay, they're prepared. They are prepared. If they lose the puddle, if they lose the naval battle, they have already decided that they can go to land. And that's exactly what we see. That's why the battle line is keep shifting. They're not, they're not tied down to something irrevocably. Something doesn't just roll in and blow up a commander. They've always fought tooth and nail for everything that they had. It's just unfortunate that Burning has been doing, better trades, better defenses, and just overall getting away with little advantages here and there, eventually building into a ridiculous snowball, which is the point we're at now.
I would like to bring this up. My main man guest has actually run some numbers here, and the original odds of getting a 2v1 was a 60% chance. Now, the odds of getting a 2v1 situation in 5 times in a row was an actual 8% chance. So while it is not impossible, it's highly probable.
Well, there you go.
So there you go. There's
it's a shame
some
that
numbers.
Chance doesn't have a memory. It's a shame that Chance doesn't have a memory.
Yeah, seriously. But some tier 2 being tier 2 air. This is truly my biggest kerbobble. I don't understand why. I mean, the tier 2 air fabricators, I understand they're very, very good, and obviously getting the tier 2 air on the naval, or on those naval spots, would be really important. But why? Just go some like boom bots or something silly at the end here and just blow this guy to cloud 9.
Well, what Burning is bringing out is Hornets, the tier 2 bombers.
Oh, yes.
The real question, it's exactly like you said, kind of a case of why. I mean, useful unit, yeah, sure. can attack from much longer range than having to actually drop the bombs, but almost immediately gets shot down by the commander. I think it lost 50% of its health. No, wait, no. It's somehow actually
It's
managed.
dead.
Oh, there we go. It's dead. So, like you said, why? We will be interviewing them soon, by the looks of things, unless this Promethean player can somehow turn the tide.
Plus, the simple
these
thing
bombers.
that, like, when they fire, they just seem to, their turn radius, it pushes them forward a little bit, and then...
And the GGs. So there we go. Burning versus Promethean. Burning takes it on Temple map. 3v3.
Good game. So then what,
It
that
was a
puts,
really good game.
that puts Promethean in third, Burn in second, and now we have to find out the finalists, yes?
Yeah, we do actually. I'm just trying to see if I can get these guys in here for an interview, because we all need this question answered. Why do people keep building T2A?
Of course.
Everyone wants to know. I mean, we want to know. So by extension, everyone. Let's find out what the hell's going on. You're still up. I was just looking at that guy. Are you still up?
I need to just die.
Hey, Smithfoss. Alpha.
Hey,
And Nick.
Oh, look who it
Welcome back
is.
for the second interview of the tournament.
Welcome back, gentlemen.
We actually we skipped you guys over once before, I believe, and now you're making us pay for it by constantly coming into our channel and answering our questions.
And of course, the biggest one, we're going to forget everything else. Why the hell Tier 2 air? What was your reasoning?
no idea. Bored.
Alright,
There you
well,
are.
I am
That's
now going to go to
exactly
bed, so have a good night, everybody.
No, you're not.
No.
You're staying till the bitter end. If I have to
Hell
do it,
yeah, I am. I've been here. I've been up too long for this.
Same here, everyone in the house is asleep now. I'm the only person awake yet.
So anyway, like onto the actual onto the game itself. You know, it was a fantastic game to watch, and what I think we really picked up on. I'm kind of sick to death of saying it because I must have mentioned it 4 or 5 times. Terrible casting, but every time Promethean tried to make, you know, a push in your territory, you had it well defended, and Promethean got nothing. Every time you made a push in Promethean's territory, they lost something, and that kept happening consistently. So, do you want to talk us through this a little bit?
It's gonna say one thing. Wall pushes are nasty. Whether used against you or used against them, they're nasty.
Yeah, you had some excellent walling going on, you know, along the shoreline, where you had something like 5 walls layered with a side wall to defend against narwhals, orcas. It was truly a thing of beauty, and ultimately it culminated in, I think, a dead commander.
I always feel sorry for him because I know when G0hst first introduced me to the wall push in the latest patch, I was raging for days because I hate it. In fact, I made a mod to disable, make it so combat fabs can't build walls. That's how much I hated it.
But would you say that the walls are OP? Is this like some sort of meta that other people just aren't using? Or was it something about the map that made you think, I'm going to use walls here to get this done?
Honestly, it's not this map in particular, it's just, you see how the players has expanded, and if you can get that one first wall close to their base, they're done. If they don't do something about the combat fab early. You can do it on any map, really. Just depends what the enemy's done.
True. Ghost, did you have any comments about that game? I mean, I know we talked a lot about it, but at the same time, it was very simple and straightforward. Burning ruled over Promethean.
Actually, yeah, I was gonna say during the entire match, what were you guys feeling? Because I know from our standpoint, at least I kept seeing it. It always seemed to be a very constant and very active game. I know for a lot of matches like Forge, for example, or Berg, there always seems to be that one just kind of correct way to go, because you know that's the fastest route to your opponent, that's the easiest route, you know that's gonna be where his units are. What were you guys thinking? Because I mean, I like to just call it seemed to always just be shifting or just getting sifted around. What were you guys thinking?
Well, we're thinking like we know you have to have air or water naval. You have to have naval dominance on this map. Because I played like a match yesterday, and if you get like T2 Leviathans up eventually, then you're pretty much screwed if you're on the land.
Yours. Except for Temple, then.
That was like the main object. Keep naval, hold off their attacks. And I was trying to snipe their expanding fabulous from the back. And their
I'm
expansion.
surprised because air is fairly. I find air to be fairly powerful on that map, and I didn't see any air from them. Then again, I didn't use air either, but still.
No, there was a lot of a ground battle sort of on and around the area surrounding the puddle, while the naval was also raging, but the land stayed very separate from the naval. I think, naval didn't really have too much influence on the land battle because of the use of walls, which is something maybe Promethean slouched behind a little bit on, and they did lose some stuff to like straight orca shots or straight narwhals.
Yeah,
And that really, I think, sorry.
I was kind of cornered, like in the back with the two orange players, and this one guy had so much naval, so I knew I had to turtle up, build walls, torpedoes, or anything, keep my stuff behind the walls. And I noticed that Smith was telling he's pushing on me with naval, and I saw the wall, so I was like, okay, so he must have not gotten a lot of naval, so I'll just push in with my naval, see how far I can go through his base, which worked pretty well.
Yeah, you really sliced the line through him. I mean, he just attacked you with his own naval, and you sort of took out these 6 orcas with, a commander and a handful of narwhals, because obviously the commander was submerged, which was really, really nice, and then immediately went on to, like, destroy some of his factories, destroy his power, take out some of his units. The trades were always in your favor from the start of the game. It was really well played.
Yeah, and also what we did was, as soon as we got naval dominance, like we had a couple of ships still, but eventually I just paused my naval factories, because you don't really need them anymore, and you can just go full land.
Well, either which way, I mean, obviously you guys now will be going on to the final, so what do you think your chances are of winning realistically? Can we get a sneak peek?
Who are you playing?
Italy.
On which
I don't
map?
know, let's say. Oh yeah,
Cullen.
is it on?
It's on Cullen.
Cullen.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
no.
Cullen or something like that. Cullen.
Oh, that's gonna be a really good match. We already played against the leads last time on Team Arena, but that's such
The
a
Gumma slide version.
Yeah, the Gumma slide version. Yeah. But that's such.
Never again.
Kaladin is a fun map. It's a good map.
We've seen some pretty interesting stuff on it so far. We've seen everything from sort of, very heavy land vehicles using teleporters to get sneak attacks on the enemy base, to a very quick sort of tier 2 naval rush to destroy things from the coast with impunity. So we really look forward to what you're going to be doing,
Yeah.
I hope you have some sort of secret strategy. Me too.
Yeah, I have something.
Do you
in
have a
mind
strategy, Alva?
how to work it out?
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah, we're definitely on the strategy.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
Elite,
we don't make
Elite
that
apparently
as
has
we go
he has an amazingly planned strategy, which he calls the 7-minute nuke. I don't know what it could stand for.
Ooh,
But,
it's scary.
Oh, I know what that is.
No, the
Would
most
you like to
scary
enlighten
thing
us with-
is Comet Fabus. Comet Fabricators and walls. That's the scary thing. Like, he'll reclaim bombers out of the air like it's nothing.
I've never tried that personally.
It's sick. You can
Well,
reclaim
what's in
bombers
this?
with Comet Fabricators.
I'll make you a deal, though. If any of you manage to reclaim boombots before they blow up a commander, you win. You win the tournament.
Is that a real
You know,
thing
It's,
now?
If you guys, okay,
That's
here's
impossible.
how you
Elite
win.
could do it, I don't.
Here's how you win. You can if you can reclaim the commander, okay? If you can legitimately find a way to reclaim the commander, you win, okay? Sound fair?
Yeah, I scale a lot, but using the combat tabs.
To be fair, if they're in a position to do that, they'd probably win anyway. So, it's not much of a challenge, really.
Cool. Oh, we might jump back up now.
Yeah. But anyway,
Wish
I
us
mean,
luck.
yeah, definitely good luck. I mean, love to see you guys take everything. You really deserve it. The last game was a thing of beauty. Don't let it fall apart now, We really believe.
Yeah, if you
I
want
was
money,
just-
you
that
better
got this.
win. So,
I have a
Yeah.
question. Is this the best out of 3? Like, do we have to play 3 matches?